Anticipation is killing me.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hear Us Out. If you're watching live, you may have caught a little bit of something else. And no, not Paul, you saying the anticipation's killing me. I hit the go live button slightly too early, so some people would have seen me flicking through scenes. But we are Hear Us Out. And tonight, Paul, we have to do our intro, which is hey everybody, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Paul.
And what are we doing tonight, Paul? We're doing an entertainment election of sorts. That's not a cash in at all on what's going on in the world right now, is it?
Uh, it's all fraud.
Fake views. We want real views. What I would love to say is, everybody leave your political beliefs at the door. This is a fight that is much more important than any real world politics. These are the best entertainment presidents. This is where we're going to have a runoff. There will be primaries for both movie and television, and then there will be one nominee from each that will face off. You get to vote all the way along in the live chat. Some of you have voted on Twitter already, but I just want you to know, like real life, there are super delegates. There are people with more votes than others, and you're looking at them, folks. Me and him. We're going to have a final say, so if you don't pick who we want, unless it's huge numbers, but you have to get over a certain percentage. So get your votes in along the way.
Yeah, I'm guessing that if it's like the majority of everybody's just like, yeah, this person's great, and we're just like, we want this one.
Yeah,
We'll go with the fans.
I'm not a very good winner or loser, but if you don't pick my way, I have an end stream button here. I will click it and I will take my toys and I will go home. No, genuinely, folks. For anybody who's joining us, any time that we're talking about somebody, if you want to shout out a vote for them, please do. But remember that we may be asking you again to go, did anybody vote for X, Y, or Z? Because watching the live chat as it flies by can get a wee bit tricky. So, Paul, I'm going to go ahead and say that we should introduce the nominees. And we'll start off by I'll kick in the first one. We'll throw in the nominees for movies. And this man, I'm thinking he's a contender. So this is the movie presidents, everybody. Independence Day. The great Bill Pullman, who played, I'm going to check my notes, Thomas J. Whitmore, President Whitmore. Now, it doesn't matter what Bill Pullman's like in real life. This is about the president he played in Independence Day. And to give that man a very quick, we've written little flashcards for ourselves on these, a very quick rundown on why you might want to see him make it out of his primary. His unique selling point is he's the alien invasion president. He has alien invasion influence or experience, I should say. He has that kind of sad puppy face. As a guy, he's good. He listens to others. He doesn't take crap from aliens. He's a tough dude. His strengths are his kind of rousing speeches. Also, the dude can fly a jet. And in at least one movie, successfully flew a jet to help get rid of the alien invasion. Slightly less successful second movie flight for him. Spoiler, he didn't make it. He's a risk-taking president. There's one of his big strengths. And by that, Randy Quaid was allowed to fly a jet alongside him. And that's quite the risk when the world is at stake. So what are his weaknesses? I'd say letting Randy Quaid fly a plane when the world's about to end. Like, I'm all for risk-taking, Mr. President. But that dude was drunk. It's also Randy Quaid. Although Randy Quaid was probably more of a safe bet back then than he is now. He's an interesting dude these days. So, if you're going to sum him up in one campaign speech, it's going to be, he fought the aliens, he did not go quietly into the night until they made a crap second movie and kind of ruined his presidential legacy a little bit. So that's your Independence Day Bill Pullman. And Paul, I'm going to throw up the next nominee and throw it over to you.
Yeah, so the next one is which is Morgan Freeman from Deep Impact. His name is President Tom Beck. With his unique experience, not unsimilar to President, which is Thomas J. Whitmore. He also had something from space coming to deal with, but it was more a niche, so extinction level experience,
That's true.
which is yeah. So it's quite similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
Puts them into the same powerhouse kind of thing. He's a dignified man, softly spoken, and seems unflappable, like which is I think it's what you need in a president,
Mm.
like especially at the time of well, half the world is going to explode. Because his strengths are calm as heck and best voice to address a nation. He is very much the best voice
Oh yeah.
to address a nation during that time. Um, his weaknesses is didn't fully stop the asteroids, so his detractors will point to that.
So is it? Sorry, that
So
was I wrote the flashcards for these for most of these. Yeah, so that was me basically saying his big weakness is that his competitors will say you stopped the asteroid, but not completely. So millions still died.
yeah,
That's
like 25% of the asteroid was not stopped,
yeah,
but sadly, in that kind of thing, it still caused a like wave, a tsunami that
yeah. I
destroyed half
think
the world or
this
destroyed New
this will come
York.
up in the group debate, no doubt, because you're not going to
Hmm.
get off that lightly, even if you are the man that can say my fellow Americans with the best voice ever, which is quite a
Yeah,
strength.
yeah. He also, yeah. So his one liner is, which goes, "My fellow Americans."
Mm.
But I would also like to add that he likes to have meetings in kitchens.
He likes to have meetings in kitchens. That's something
Yeah,
about Deep Impact I don't brilliantly remember, but yeah.
that's literally the first meeting that the journalist has with him is in the kitchen of a hotel.
So
She pretty much gets kidnapped by the Secret Service, and then is like brought to a kitchen, and she's just like, "Are you going to kill me in a kitchen?" And they're just like, "No, you're
it's
having a
just
meeting."
there were no other meeting rooms free. When you
Yeah.
think about it, the snacks are already there. It
Hmm.
makes sense. Oh, I gave away the game on the next one. Sorry, I will reveal the next nominee for the movie stable is Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford from Air Force One, who played President James Marshall. Now, what's his unique claim to fame as a president? It really is that, what other president can look very much like Indiana Jones or Han Solo? But to be fair, his other strengths, his other big ticket items are he's a decorated war veteran who had won the Medal of Honor. The way he's run around that plane, he speaks a bit of Russian. That kind of comes out. It also becomes clear in that movie that Gary Oldman can't do a brilliant Russian accent. Bless him. But I think hide and seek skills. No other president on this ticket has hide and seek skills like this man. Air Force One
Well,
is not exactly it's not a this isn't a city he's running around. He manages to
hmm,
hide anything that's the size of essentially just a passenger airplane. I do have to
yeah.
call out what the others will pick on him for though, and that is he went over his baggage allowance. There's no doubt. There's no doubt he's a man who broke his own rules. He broke aviation law. He has no idea what he's doing. And much like Morgan Freeman, people will point out the titular Air Force One, again, spoiler alert, didn't make it. But they played it off nicely because Air Force One is whatever plane the president is standing on. So once the president got onto another plane, he's like, "Yay, this is Air Force One now. Forget about the other one that my hide and seek toy that just blew up."
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's a strong contender. He is a strong contender for the movie president because let's face it,
Hmm.
he kicks ass, but also makes speeches well too. And his one line is the most famous of them all: "Get off my plane," which I'm assuming was part of what Clint Eastwood was thinking of when he changed it to lawn later in life.
Which is so yeah, the next group we actually kind of paired these two because if you haven't seen our twins video, you should go check that out. But this is one of these, it's Jamie Foxx and Aaron Eckhart from White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen. The Jamie Foxx plays President Swayer, yeah, and then which is Aaron Eckhart plays President Benjamin Asher. So we kind of joined these two guys together because they're pretty much the same president, which goes
Yeah,
just in different world. And it's literally like if the universe, like if you could jump multiverses, it's just like, oh, this is the one where like Aaron Eckhart was president and the White House got blown up. Oh, this is the one where Jamie Foxx is the president and it got blown up. So their experiences, their unique experiences, is home invasion. They have home invasion experience, and
Very
also
true.
dealing with house insurance policies and stuff. So that's their unique experience. Their bio is seen more action than Bill Clinton, which goes their strengths, integrity, and weapons training. Because both of them, yeah, both of them has like become slightly. It's like the president has like a curse on him that if the White House gets exploded, then he becomes like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true, actually. There's something pretty magical in the White House lawn because once bad guys step on it, the president all of a sudden becomes like Action Man.
well,
Or
because like
in the next 2 hours, at least, he goes from I'm scared to get off my lawn. Hey, work
yeah,
that one
like
back in.
it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because like Aaron Eckhart's kind of president is kind of a little bit less forward on like as in he's a little bit more kind of kept underground for a while longer than Jamie Foxx's one. So yeah, it's interesting. Which is their weakness is obviously that they can't keep a house in order because it gets attacked, and
Mm.
the other weakness is trusting in either trusting in their own secret service or past members of the secret service, which is
Yeah,
which
their trust is a bit of a weakness, isn't it?
yeah, because they trust in Olympus Has Fallen, the one of the old secret service who goes into the private sector is like spoilers, the betrayer, and then in White House Down it's a similar thing. It's like an old senior member of the secret service also is the twist, the traitor.
And
So it's just kind of like maybe not keep your secret service as close as you think.
yeah, it's true.
So
Also, can I edge in on the end of that and go for anybody who's like, it's not fair to have two of them. It's not really two of them when one of them's Aaron Eckhart, because what you're looking at on screen is the best use of Aaron Eckhart's history as Two Face to kind of go, there you go. He can be two people at once if we need him to be, even if Jamie Foxx is the other half. Arguably the better president of the two, I would say, because he was a bit more proactive about saving his own behind.
it
Um,
seems like Aaron Eckhart might have gotten a second term. So
yeah,
I don't know about Jamie Lee. I don't know about Jamie Foxx as president, but
that's true. Actually, that's true. There's something that we need to do a whole other episode on what happened next in the presidencies. I am going to throw us in because we've got to get through TV after this. But there is in each of these groups there are four nominees and a wild card, and this wild card is the internet's favorite president. Um, I'm going to refer to my notes so I can get the pronunciation right of the middle name. It's Dwayne Elizondo Camacho, or President Camacho, as I've always thought of him, from Idiocracy, played brilliantly by Terry Crews. Before Brooklyn Nine-Nine or any of this is way, way back. Um, Personally, I love the movie, but man, do I love the president. I'm going to refer to the notes I wrote because I don't want to leave anything out. His unique selling point. He's the internet's favorite president for a reason. He's completely different to any other president. His bio is he's a wrestler turned porn superstar turned president, and I gotta say the man knows how to put on a show. The entrances to all of his speeches, for all the other great speeches that these other fictional presidents have made, none of them have an entrance or a feather boa or a large like Harley tricycle or a machine gun, or an affinity for monster trucks as part of the justice system. His strengths are that he's flamboyant, so he can grab the people's attention. He is scary as hell, so he can grab the people's attention and get them to do what he needs them to do. But actually, if you watch the movie, for as dumb as he might seem, he's able to read an auto cue perfectly, and he's actually able to pick the right people to save the day in the end. So, as far as good and bad presidenting goes, watch the movie again. He did know who the guy that was going to save them actually was, so fair play. The note I have for his weakness is actually he's not really smart by any modern measure. And his one line to encapsulate him, it's the first line on his teleprompter. Shit. And anybody who starts their speeches with that, I gotta say, is somebody that is running a good chance of getting my vote.
it's a pretty strong one. It's a pretty strong one.
Also, President Camacho, which I
It's a
believe
pr-
in the middle of the movie he changed his name to President Mountain Dew Camacho, or
yeah,
he got sponsored by somebody, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the like I can't remember what that energy drink
Oh,
in the
Brondo.
movie is.
Brondo.
Brondo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably called. He probably gets Brondo or something.
Well,
It
Brondo
has a.
does have electrolytes.
I was going to say exactly the same thing,
um,
but it has electrolytes.
but it has electrolytes. I am going to say,
Everything you
right,
need.
we've had our five nominees for movie. Paul, over to you for TV. This all happened to be in random order when they were written, but Paul got as the luck of the draw. Because Paul, I would have given this to me if I was cheating. This is how you knew I didn't cheat. Paul
Mm.
has got the first of the TV presidents.
Yes, and the first of the TV presidents is Jed Bartlett from West Wing, played by Martin Sheen. Top contender for the TV one already. Very, very strong, very strong. His unique selling point: the most dignified and well-read man in existence. Pretty much so, because there's 2 episodes where he talks of nothing but like the importance of a well-built knife, like carving knife for Thanksgiving, and the other one is the map, like as in the map of Israel, but which
In
is very good,
Yeah,
but constantly thrown back in his face of kind of going, you can't put that up in the White House. Which goes, his bio is smart, caring, earnest, family man who can crack a joke and get serious at the same time. This is probably one of his like he is like, yeah, he's a quite kind of best of the best kind of person where he's
yeah,
like tough on everything that he needs to be tough on, and joking and nice and important kind of values that presidents have. His strengths are well read, once again, professor of economics, not greedy, professor of economics, can make tough calls and manage a team, as you can see from the story of the West Wing and his chief of staff and press secretary and everybody else. Like he's got a great team behind him that he like motivates consistently and has a laugh with. But then also the times in the situation room really show off him. Which is his weaknesses. He's smug and patronizing. Yeah, he can come off as those two things quite a lot.
yeah. A whole long
Uh,
speech about a 400-year-old knife or whatever it is. That can come across as condescending at times.
yeah, yeah, it really can. Especially when he also thinks that he's right about how you cook a turkey. Which is also his other weakness is hid a degenerative health condition, which is, to be fair, is not cool in a kind of trying to be honest, position. Um, so yeah, he did hide, which was that he had. I can't
MS.
remember what was
It was
MS.
MS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
intermediate MS, wasn't it?
Mm.
So yeah, he had a degenerative disease that could partialise and also cause later on problems with who was in command and stuff. His one line: in this building, when the president stands, nobody sits,
Yeah. I think for any
which is one of
West
the
Wing
best
fan,
lines.
that was the real hair on the back of the neck moment, wasn't it? Um, you know, the lady that didn't stand, the reporter that didn't like him, and he really showed his teeth by doing the whole, when the president stands, nobody sits.
Yeah, yeah, in this house. Yeah, I also my other favorite line, just to put in there, is the re-election debate where he's just like, if we're like, I meant to, or before we start, which goes, unfunded mandate is 2 words, not one word, not one big long word, which is one of my favorite lines as well from him. Uh,
Again, that shows his strength of intelligence and his weakness of condescension. Um,
mm,
he's got to be a contender. I was very jealous, literally, Paul, because we've had our emails going back and forth. You knew how the lineup was shaping up, and I just thought, right, first, second, first, second, first, second. And when I got down as far as that, I was like, crap, can I cheat and give me Bartlett? Because
I cheated.
you didn't cheat, did you?
I did cheat.
Oh, did you do? Well,
Yeah, how? Because I combined the 2 characters so that they're one, so that I could get them.
yeah, but you gave me the chance to make a Harvey Two Face a reference. You got a DC reference into a presidential election episode. Also, right now, is there anybody in the chat that said anything? Because I've not got anything. Anybody made any
Nope.
votes? We haven't got any.
No, no votes.
No votes. Okay, well then we're going to move on to our next of the TV representatives, and that is Kiefer Sutherland, who, to be fair, I'm basing this on watching one season of Designated Survivor. So he's not a strong favourite for me because his TV show didn't keep me for long enough. But as a president, I think he's one of the more famous TV ones just because it was a great premise to go. The guy they left behind ended up becoming president. So it's a State of the Union. For anybody who hasn't seen Designated Survivor, this poor chap becomes president when he's actually supposed to be losing his job in the cabinet altogether. He gets left behind. They need a designated survivor if anything happens during the State of the Union to all of the government. So you don't leave your best behind. He gets left in a room. Terrorism, end of everybody. He's the president. Now, that's his unique ability to be the lucky or unlucky guy that actually didn't get wasted. What I will say, it's hard to be nice about a guy after you say all that. He is super strong when it comes to overcoming the self-doubt that anybody would have. That's a hard way to get the job of president, and he does have the fortitude to knock back everybody who says you shouldn't be president, and he's like, well, I am now. So he sticks with it, which is good. He can hunt terrorists, and don't forget, he was also Jack Bauer in 24, so in this multiverse, he's crossing over a few skills. He is massively unqualified, and he does flap about a bit, kind of going, well, am I the right, having conversations perpetually with his wife and others going, am I the right guy? And then in another room going, I'm the right guy. It's like, that's human, but dude, you have the job now. If you're sticking with it, sack up. Which he does, to be fair. Now, what I stuck down for his one memorable line, I don't think he had one from that first season, but there was a whole lot of what's going on. If you read all the scripts, I'm pretty sure that's the most common sentence that he uttered from the first episode to the last. There's an awful lot of him shouting what's going on. So not confidence inspiring, but he has the vote of the everyday man, because let's face it, if he can be president, so can we.
That's very true.
I tried to big him up at the end, Paul.
I was going to say, yeah, well, nice. Are you being paid by him? We now his press secretary.
Look, we all know he's not winning. All right, I'm trying to make this look fair. All right, who's up next?
Which is 24. Kiefer Sutherland's main TV show, but not Kiefer Sutherland. It is Dennis Haysbert.
Yeah.
Who is President David Palmer, which is his unique selling points. So trustworthy that an insurance company hired him to be their spokesperson.
Yeah,
it's pretty unique.
Like literally, that actor got the job because people trusted him so much that he ended up being the spokesperson for that American insurance company whose name has forgotten me, or I've forgotten.
Which is his bio is smart, charismatic, and principled. So he's got strong kind of will and keeps his stand on things when he's being forced against it. Is very bit as strong as the lead character. That is very true because he does need to be kind of, I guess, butting heads with a person who's kind of doesn't care about the rules but does care about the country. Yeah, America. His voice, which is his strengths are voice to beat Morgan Freeman, which goes. That's he's got a great voice as well. Like survival of multiple assassination attempts. Yep. If he's part of that's the actor that's part of that team's what's that team? What is that called? It's a TV show where they're special forces. It doesn't matter.
We'll come back to that.
Which is his weakness, spoilers, not great at avoiding all assassination attempts. Oh no. And his one line is, or his line is, anything in that voice.
Yeah, let's face it.
Such a great voice.
When you see Morgan Freeman on a list, do you ever think you're going to find somebody with a better voice than him? And when we put the list together and this guy shows up, you're like, wow, at least someone here has a chance against Morgan Freeman of the Like that's the voice you want to read your audiobook to you. Um, I think who's up next? Actually, I think we're gonna go do the wild card. So we've only got two left for TV. The wild card really quickly from out of nowhere. This is going to be harder for some people to get on board with, but she was president. Okay, it's either in a very distant galaxy, future, or past. Let's not ruin the show for anybody. Laura Roslin, Secretary for Education. Her unique selling point is that she didn't just lead a country. She ended up leading a country, a colony, and the entire remainder of humanity. Which, if you've seen the show, she does it quite impressively in the face of some odds. She's hard as nails, and she picks up the job of politics pretty quickly. Her strengths I have written here are withering glare, because that is the most often used thing. She does have a kind of a stare at people, and then a wry smile of "I think you're full of crap." Yeah, kind of like that, except with less beard. Yeah, I actually put down and bleep this at home if you don't like cursing. Her wry smile kind of says, I think you're a twat. That's the note I wrote for myself. She has that look in her face. Weirdly, she has the ability to care about keeping politics going when no one else does, and is kind of key to humanity in the end. Her weaknesses are she might be a little bit prone to following fantastical religious myths that kind of put everybody in a lot of danger, and she's okay, she has a medical condition. I know she has a medical condition, but she does dabble in drugs, and it's never really clear if it's all medicinal or could some of it be recreational to help with the Isle Spirit journeys, if you know what I'm saying. But if you've seen the show, it also works out quite well. So she's very lucky. That's another strength. I gave her the one line. She's many quotable things, but I think at the end of a debate with Gaius Baltar, when she essentially whispers in his ear, "Why don't you go frack yourself?" Which was the strength of that show of having a word, an F word that you could actually say on TV. For all of you, those of you that haven't seen it, this lady's as hard as nails, but also as crazy as a bag of spanners at times. So vote your conscience there. She'll get you there in the end. You might be a wee bit unsure along the way, though. So that's Laura Roslin from Battlestar Galactica.
Played by Mary McDonnell.
Mary McDonnell.
And our next one.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it up. Paul, House of Cards.
House of Cards, produced or which was played by Kevin Spacey, and the character is Frank Underwood.
I'm happy enough to just end it there if you are.
We're
gonna move into a round where we knock people off anyway, and you know what? It's Kevin Spacey, so let's just say a political scandal took him out, won't
we? Yeah, there you go. Sure. Too much of a political scandal.
Yeah, so bye-bye to Kevin Spacey. So there you go. You've seen all the runners and riders, folks. That was a lot of people to get through. We have to now pick a nominee from each camp. I'm going to throw it open, Paul. Will we do movies or TV first? Which would you prefer?
Let's do TV first and leave the movie one to the end.
Okay, TV. We now have our 5 nominees on screen. Oh, where is he? There he is. Yeah, and Spacey's just disappeared. Okay. So now we have our 4 nominees on screen. We've got Jed Bartlett from The West Wing, President Dennis, whoever the President Palmer that Dennis Haysbert played in 24, Mary McDonnell's Laura Roslin from Battlestar, and then Kiefer Sutherland doing his I fell into this job ass backward designated survivor. So have we got votes out there so far?
We have 2 votes so far for Bartlett.
Kill surprise.
So yeah, I'm guessing. You know, I'm gonna
curveball, please.
I'm gonna start eliminating people.
Okay.
I personally am going to get rid of the designated survivor person, as in my one, just because I've never seen that show. It is never like I like Kiefer Sutherland. He's quite a good actor and stuff, but the show never in any way made me go, maybe I'll watch that because that seems like a good president.
Yep.
You know? So
and if this was a debating arena for these presidents, I'm pretty sure all other 3 of them could outspeak him and outspeech him. So I don't
Yeah.
think he'd last. I agree with that. Bye bye, designated survivor. And then there were three. So I'm going to nominate one then as well to hit the cutting floor.
Mm-hmm.
And this might surprise some people. I'm actually going for President Palmer from 24, Dennis Haysbert. As great as that voice is for making speeches and for being stern, and as awesome as he was, the dude ended up getting assassinated.
Mm.
And I genuinely don't think on a stage, policy for policy, with Jed Bartlett, who, let's face it, one of the great fictional presidents of all time, I don't think he would have the depth of the turn of phrase to fight him off. And I really don't think he'd survive that Laura Rosalind withering stare of, you may have a great voice, but I saved all of humanity. How you like that? Mic drop. So I'm going to say
That
he's gone. What do you think?
I'm gonna say, yeah, no, I'm gonna agree with that one. I was actually up for I was up for an argument there for, but
Oh,
I didn't. But you went for 24,
oh no!
which is
Go for the argument though.
no. I thought you were gonna do someone else, and I was gonna be like,
Oh,
what are you doing?
okay. Well, we've got two left, so I would love people in chat, anybody that's out there in chat who hasn't already voted for Jed Partner, which actually everybody has. So, Paul, shall we defend or pick a side here? Let's advocate for one or the other. Um,
Okay.
who do you like? It's the audience favorite, Jed Bartlett. Who actually we may as well go with the reading order. You're the Jed Bartlett advocate. I'll have to back up Laura Roslin. This is going to be a tough but fair 60 seconds of debate. Paul, why should Jed
I'm gonna
Bartlett be
throw in
president?
gonna throw in a curveball. Don't think Jed Bartlett should be president, or don't think he should be the winner. I definitely think that Glenn Allen Walken should be the winner from West Wing. He's the Republican Party president who takes over
Okay.
from Jed Bartlett.
And
No. I'm only
and I
messing.
understand, and I'm going to refer you to the screen and say the party has spoken, and these are the nominees.
No. That's the reason that I was just saying Glenn Allen Walken was because that is played by John Goodman. He's literally in like two episodes or so,
Yeah,
he's the
but he's
Speaker of the
great.
House.
He is
He's a
just
great one.
great.
But
Yeah.
Jeb Bartlett, which is I like. I guess it's real difficult. It's real difficult to go against Jed Bartlett. So like, I
Well,
will.
then can let's make it a debate. Do you want to do a 30-second debate? I'll be Laura Roslin if you be Jed Bartlett. How
Yeah,
about this?
yeah.
Mr. Bartlett, President Bartlett, if you will. Have you ever saved all of humanity? I have. Take that to the bank.
Okay. So what is the population of the fleet at the time of your saving?
I see where you're going with this, Mr. President. Fake news, fake news. We had lost a lot of people before I was president. That did not happen on my watch. Obviously,
Because
you have more people on your planet, considering ours was torched.
yeah, because I was going to say because I avoided China going to war with Taiwan.
Okay.
I avoided India and Pakistan going to war with each other, and I
Mr.
stopped
President,
seven.
I would like to
I
concede
got
because not only do you have more votes from the crowd, and we do have to move on, but also I know that Jed Bartlett wins that fight, um, as Laura Rosalind. But my final act as her would be to go. She just had a weird glare smile combo. If you watch the show, you know it, and it really
I
was
would.
the best face of why don't you just go frack yourself?
My thing would be that she's like Jeb Bartlett's like a perfect president. Like
Mm,
he's so perfect that they had to give him a degenerative kind of disease that he hid, which I would have targeted that if I was you. But Rosalind,
don't play dirty, you know.
she took on a role that she was definitely not originally going for. Like she was the Secretary of Education or the head of education and took on the presidency during a extinction level event and was able to like that's
True.
impressive.
But
But
drugs, man. But drugs. Yeah, like it could have easily gone the other way for her. If the Vision Quest hadn't been right, she was basically leading them into the middle of nowhere. So I'll
let's
give
take
it to
that
Jed.
point because I know we do have to stop arguing, but let's just take that point because I she led them to a world in which then no one would possibly ever kind of find, and
Mm,
also on top of that, she had to fight. She had to be the president during the time when like robots could look like humans On top of that, her military command was very sketchy at that, and still was able to like properly get organized and defend them
I'm supposed to be
consistently.
defending her, not you. And I will give the counter that Jed Bartlett would be like, well, if you're such a good judge of character, spoiler for everybody, how come you didn't notice the robots that look like humans that you kept hiring to be right close to you? So, so she loses, he wins because we're going to get to movies. So everybody out there, all the Twitter votes were for Jed Bartlett too. By the way, there was no way he wasn't going to win as the TV representative. Question
Yeah,
is, who who in God's name will win in the movies? So our choices are Harrison Ford, Air Force One, Bill Pullman, Independence Day, Terry Crews as President Camacho in Idiocracy. We've got Morgan Freeman's My Fellow Americans, Deep Impact, and then we've got Harvey Two Face Dent, part Aaron Eckhart, part Jamie Foxx. I just called it Olympus Down, which, looking back, since it's the White House Down and Olympus has fallen,
yeah.
it should have been Fallen Down, because that would be a nice reference to the old other Falling Down movie. Anyway, missed my shot there. Paul, pick somebody that's going to go. Who's your first vote to go before we even ask anybody out there?
I'm going to say Olympus Down. I'm going to say Aaron Eckhart and Jamie Foxx. They're a great combo, but they did have their White House explode. So
Yeah. You know what? That's going to be a tough one to not have a campaign ad run against you. It's like, vote for me. I'm the president who hasn't had my White House explode.
we'll see, because I know that people will be like, yeah, but Deep Impact and in Independence Day, that also happened. It's like, yeah, but like, let's look at that for a second. Independence Day was aliens that literally decimated the entire planet,
Yeah.
and Deep Impact was an asteroid that also decimated the entire planet.
Well, yeah.
In Olympus Down, it's just disgruntled people.
And let's face it, if you lose the White House and you go, oh yeah, but they lost the White House too. Yeah, but did other houses on the block get damaged in their situation? Oh yeah, the entire city usually. So yeah, that's it. They're out. We're down to 4.
Mm-hmm.
This is so tough. These are the 4 toughest. I love somebody out there. Let's check the chat. Who's going to vote for me to help us out here?
Brew has voted for Bill Pullman, which Independence Day.
Okay, he's got to stay then. He's got to stay.
See, I'm going to say that Air Force One, Harrison Ford should go.
Wow, you picked
Mm-hmm.
the hide and seek champion of 1999 or 2001, whatever that movie was, 98. Who's also a veteran, Medal of Honor winner. But I'm going to agree with you, because let's face it, if you're in the being a president who's an action man and can save things, you got to save the actual Air Force One, not just get off it and get on another plane and be like, this is Air Force One now too.
Also, just the president not meant to just actually kill people. That is still murder.
That's a very, it says more about me than I'd like that I didn't actually pick up on that.
Like, he murdered a lot of people. Now, it was self-defense, granted, but
So not technically murder. And I'm saying that more to defend the fact that I overlooked it. So yeah, they were self-defense, Paul. But yeah, still,
so
yeah, true. Actually, true. And in that vein, then I'm going to pick somebody else who's got to go, and that is, and he was my favorite. I'll be honest, he'll always be my president. Terry Crews, if you're out there and listening, they were the greatest selection of wigs. I'm nominating him as next out because not only in any real measure is he not the best president because he's not the smartest man, but he's willfully allowed people to die in brutal and vicious ways for entertainment under the guise of justice. President Camacho, I think, is not fit for a purpose. So if I was on a debate stage, I would probably just let him speak a lot and then go, see? So yeah, I don't know if he'd make it.
I don't want to defend the person who is closest to current day politics, but he did choose the smartest man in the world to be his like
Hmm.
advisor, and then eventually for him to take over the presidency,
True.
which inadvertently then saved humanity.
But he did walk up to the smartest man in the world, who was brought to him as that title, and grab the guy's head and say, "I thought it'd be bigger. You get a little peanut head," or something to that effect. Not understanding how the human brain works. So you get the credit for going with the smartest guy, but then should you really, if you don't know the basic principles of human anatomy, just like this guy could
I'll
eventually go up
concede.
against Jed Bartlett. Let's keep that in mind here.
Okay, okay. For trying to go up against another president, we're gonna go for yeah. Okay, I'll concede that. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I really thought
we
we would
got
have the internet saving him there too.
two votes for Bill Pullman, which goes
Oh, good man.
so we got two votes going for Bill Pullman. So far, Independence Day president is currently winning.
Well, that is good for me because right now we have two left. One is Morgan Freeman, my fellow Americans,
Hmm.
and then the look. I'm not gonna lie. I watch Independence Day. I still love the original Independence Day movie. I still think it's great. I don't acknowledge the second one exists. I had to see it once, and that was enough to know I'd never watch it again. If someone says watch it again, really, it's not as bad as you think, I'll be like, no, I have a memory. It doesn't exist. But on speeches alone, I think Bill Pullman, out of these two, I'm voting for as the winner. Do you want to defend Morgan Freeman and his almost asteroid stopping?
No, because like I'm gonna because my argument for the reason why I choose Pullman over Morgan Freeman's which goes to Tom Beck is that Tom Beck lied to the world. Like he lied to the world for quite a considerable amount of time,
The whole,
whereas
all the, and I'm just doing the devil's advocate, playing his voice here, but all of the world leaders lied. They were all in on it. Massive conspiracy. Some would say it was a precursor to QAnon. No, it isn't. I'm joking. There you go.
um yeah, but like he was one of the kind of biggest. Yeah, he I like the fact that Bill Pullman's presidency also was just like, wait a minute, we have aliens? Whoa, 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 whoa. What?
You
Like
kept this
at the
secret.
exact same time. At the exact same time as mostly everybody else, except for like I think the Secretary of Defense and the is it the Secretary of Defense? Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
Secretary of Defense. Um
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, maybe, or somebody else. Yeah.
oh no,
I think
Chairman of the
well, the only thing is, I just want to say I don't want to big him up too much because we've got to put him up against Jed Bartlett in about 60 seconds, and I don't want either one of us to waste the powder because that's going to be a tough fight.
Mhm.
So, is there any last ditch for Morgan Freeman? Because I'm going to go ahead and say, Deep Impact, that president did a good job of staying calm and keeping everybody else calm up to a point, but after that, yeah, if it wasn't for the asteroid, could he have been any good at foreign policy? Did he step out and throw a rock at the asteroid and break it? No. Did his main competitor right now jump in a jet fighter and say Fox 2 or Fox 5 or whatever it was every time they shot a missile? Yes, he did.
Okay, if you're gonna go with active role and trying to defend the humanity, then yeah, okay, cool. I'm like
I'm just trying
that's
to
fine.
I'm just trying to
That
give him the
voice,
win. That voice though. That voice
that
though.
voice though. Could you imagine? Could you imagine Tom Beck giving that July 4th like speech?
Yeah, but you
You,
know,
you
weirdly,
wouldn't.
and actually, this will come up in a second. So, Deep Impact president gone. So we
Yeah.
have our two nominees.
Hmm.
That does match with the public vote. So our or my suggested dictatorship hasn't worked out, or it's just lucky that all of you chose what I wanted in the end anyway. Ha ha ha
Yeah,
ha
we
ha.
we yeah, we're just it's the deep state. We just all implanted the idea into your brains, and you've just come around.
Exactly. So now I'm going to try and get both of them on screen together, and by luck, it has worked. So we now have TV versus movies, your final election pairing.
Hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and say that if you're going to run for election, you need a vice president. And in TV land, the vice president didn't make this list, even though she was a president for a short period of time in her show. Veep. Julia Louise Dreyfus, her whole entire TV show is called Veep, as in for vice president. So I'm going to go ahead and say she's the under ticket for the TV Jed Bartlett. I'm trying to think of a famous vice president in movies, and I don't think there is one. So anybody who wants to suggest a running mate for Bill Pullman's Independence Day president, stick it in the comments. I can't tell if you've frozen or you're thinking.
No, I was just like, I don't know any. I don't know anyone.
Well, it is also sometimes traditional to choose somebody from the primary that you've beaten them, so you can take somebody from there. So, maybe an Morgan Freeman backing you up wouldn't be the worst thing.
That is true. Or Terry Crews.
Or Terry Crews.
Because no one's going to assassinate you if they know what's coming, if you do.
Actually, perfect vice president. He appeals to the everyday man, somebody who likes beer and guns, feather boas, wrestling, porn. He covers a lot of demographics that Bill Pullman wouldn't. So, yeah. Oh, that's a strong ticket right there. That's a strong ticket. A weird lawn sign, though.
So we get some, which is Freeman is a better god than president, which makes sense. I will say that. Which is Bill Pullman is kind of coming out. Got to be Will Smith as VP.
That is, for Independence Day. When you think about it, it's either Jeff Goldblum or Will Smith from Independence Day that he'd have to pick as his vice president.
What about the grandfather? Not with the grandfather.
Oh, yeah.
When Jeff Goldblum's grandfather to be, or father to be the VP.
He'd be really good, but he'd be looking to take pens from everywhere he wanted. I think that was his thing. He wanted like a White House pen or something. He's adorable. But yeah, you know what? I would go with Will Smith over Jeff Goldblum for one major reason. I know you'd end up with two fighter pilots on the ticket together, but can you imagine Jeff Goldblum in a debate? By the time he'd answer a question with hand gestures and all, they'd be like, your 2 minutes are up. He'd be like, no, but, well, life will find a way. He also wouldn't. That was more Shatner again. I know. I still haven't got a difference between those two.
Also, like you would constantly have him going, "I don't want to go. You can't make me," kind of speech, which he does when they say they should just nuke the aliens. But Will Smith. Will Smith is I can't remember his name, but he's the Black Knight commander, which is the squadron.
Okay,
that he fights for the LA Black Knights, which is the squadron. He's a strong VP for that. If we're gonna go for maybe in the same universe or the same kind of like series thing, I'm going for Leo as vice president.
Yeah. Oh,
I
just had a moment of sadness there, remembering the episode after. For anybody who hasn't watched West Wing, you'll end up loving this character, and we'll leave it there.
Leo McGarry, he's great.
Good on you, Leo.
Chief of staff.
Right, pick a side. Do you want to do it again, just on the look of the draw of who we had to read out? Because as it happens, you had Jed Bartlett, and I did read Bill Pullman. So,
oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. If that's the easiest way to decide who we get, I have Leo McGarry.
Okay, so now we've got to do our presidential debate. So you've got to give me the reasons, and I've got to give you the reasons, and we can run this one out and pick a winner between movies and TV. Paul, you're representing all of TVdom, and I am representing all of moviedom.
Okay. So, I'm going to filibuster the entire thing and never stop talking, and just give you the whole thing of just West Wing so that you can't speak at all. So that also I'll give you the idea of poker game as well. So the poker game rules is 5 cards in the center of the thing. They get put out at 3s, then you burn the cards. Then
for anybody who doesn't know what a filibuster is, that's what a filibuster is. For anybody who doesn't know what an end stream button is. I think that could have worked because Jed Bartlett could do that. Jed Bartlett could speak at length, and I don't know how many speeches Bill Pullman's president had in him that weren't going to be said on an airfield into a shonky little kind of loudspeaker.
True. but like, yeah, I guess with Wes, with like Jed Bartlett, he's like the oh, man. I think the reason that Jed Bartlett's so strong in this one is because you get more of a time to get to know the character, which is the hardest thing to kind of fight against with a movie president.
Using your
If
TV
we're
advantage, I see. Ooh,
if
this is
we're
the
going
kind of
to
debate it's going to be.
yeah, yeah, I'm going to use everything to my advantage. Also, it's Martin Sheen. Come on, man.
True, true.
Like, which goes
Did he save the world himself in a fighter jet from aliens?
no, but neither did Bill Pullman.
He was in the
You're
fighter
talking about
jet up there helping
you're
doing
talking
the
about the
saving.
crazy guy who shoved himself into a giant laser. That's the guy who
I
saved
regret
him.
I regret pointing
And
I regret
and also
pointing
Bill
that out.
Pullman
But
didn't agree. Also, Bill Pullman didn't wasn't the one who was just like, yeah, that guy can be pilot. The other Baldwin did. The younger Baldwin was just
oh,
like,
thank you for mentioning that young Adam Baldwin, who, thanks to my president Bill Pullman, thanks to him, gets to say the greatest line in that movie. Is that glass bulletproof? No, sir. Bang, bang, bang. The moment that the president looks over, or no, it's not the president. No, it isn't. It's his chief of staff that says it to him. Bugger, bugger. I really thought I had you there on a my president's cooler than yours moment, but I just realized wrong character.
no, no,
Yeah.
you're actually right.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, because he's the officer in charge of Area 51.
Yeah.
And yeah, he does say no, sir, and then takes out his gun, and then everybody else is just like, it is a great formation of people. It's like they choreographed that a little too much
Yeah,
because the
just a
guns are
little
all
too much.
just slightly away that you can see them, which is true, but uh, like that's a great line and stuff. But still, in this house, when the president stands, no one sits.
And to that, Bill Pullman's Thomas J. Whitmore says, I don't sit. When the chips are down, I stand on an airfield and I say, we will not go quietly into that good night. I'm hopping in a jet. Who's with me? We're going to kick some alien ass. Woohoo! Today's our Independence Day. Tell me that doesn't give you the tingle right now. Okay, my delivery was a little bit different than his and rushed, maybe, but
The only thing that constantly gets me about that speech is that he is morning voice. Like, because the first thing he goes is, "Good morning, good morning." Whereas none of the speeches that Jed Bartlett does ever has an old coffee cough kind of morning speech thing.
oh, okay, okay, okay. Look, this is going to be a tie. We like both presidents. I think. Oh, yeah.
No,
I
I'm not
think
conceding. Definitely going for Jed Bartlett. No vote for Pope.
I
Jed
just
Bartlett
looked.
for president.
I just looked at the comments. I was like, I think I'll let the comments decide. And I was hoping that there'd be a bit of both, but I'm seeing an awful lot of Bartlett here. Um, I
So yeah,
actually,
let's actually okay. So both like, you're voting for Bill Pullman and I'm voting for Jed Bartlett, right?
yeah,
Okay. Well, we've got two people in we got two people in the chat. Okay. So
duking it out.
who's for Bartlett? Say vote Bartlett if from like now. You're so if you yeah from now
Actually,
if
and my
you,
impassioned plea, and Paul, how about we both make a 10-second plea and everybody vote based on this? Bill Pullman's Thomas J. Whitmore is not only the president who can fly up and smack aliens, he's the president who can make speeches when the whole world is in peril. And to be fair, he has a nice big sad face. You want to vote for him. He's got a big sad face. And he never condescends to anyone. Not like the other guy. He's not
who
all
would you
talky
who
talky.
would you prefer to be a president though?
In
If
in the
if you had to
real world.
choose if you had to choose in real life either Jed Bartlett or Bill Pullman's character, like
Oh, it's going to be
presidency,
Martin Sheen, but if there's an alien invasion, who are you going to choose?
like
Ooh,
oh, we got one vote, we've one vote for Pullman because he hasn't seen West Wing. Okay, that's fine.
that still counts. All votes are legal. That was time stamped. And Defo Bartlett. Yeah, we knew that was going to
Oh,
happen. All right, Paul. I'm gonna.
wait, hang on a second. There's another person also typing.
Yeah, I can see
Uh,
your hands.
uh,
You may be cropped in their view, but I can see more of you. What I will say, Paul, is I think the only way to settle this is not to have a winner between movie and TV. I think this, because it's all fictional, should be the time when people come together from both sides of the aisle and decide on a joint presidency. What do you say to that? You're going to say no, aren't you?
Terry Crews, then. Final offer.
You know what? I couldn't pick between the two of them without other people voting. So if I had to, in the real world, it's Jed Bartlett. It's Martin Sheen.
Yeah, that's the thing. If
Yeah.
if if you were to put them into the situations in which they were like, other, I would definitely Bill Pullman. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
his character is quite good in an Alien Invasion because he is a fighter pilot and he's not one of those lead from the back kind of people.
Yeah.
I don't think Jed Bartlett is either, but Jed Bartlett doesn't know how to fly a jet, so
Well,
he might have read a manual. But
this just in, they've declared Pennsylvania, and it is in fact, oh my god, yeah, West Wing Jed Bartlett takes the, well done, Paul. I think you advocated really well for what was already my favorite fictional president. Also, we didn't hide it that brilliantly, but I am glad that Bill Pullman's Independence Day, President Whitmore made it as far as he did. A small part of me will probably go to bed tonight thinking, should I have done more for Dwayne Elizondo Camacho, Mountain Dew Rondo?
hey, listen, if you don't want to pick either Jed Bartlett or Bill Pullman, I'm putting
You putting Camacho
putting
back on the table?
back at the table, back at the table.
I have, I can click him right back on screen here. Where are
Back
you,
at the
Camacho?
table.
No, that was, look. I'm gonna go back to our walkout screen. That was fun. I hope anybody else who's watching this enjoyed it. Everybody out there who's been stressed by elections, try not to be, and particularly don't be stressed by fictional ones. So if you disagreed with anything we said, have fun in the comments below. Nobody be mean to anybody else. Like, share, and subscribe though. If you're going to do anything with any energy or rage that you might have, smash the like button, because that's what people say. Smash the subscribe button and the notification bell. Yeah, just smash stuff. Yeah, ding, ding, ding. Paul, I'm happy that we have elected the best of the fictional presidents. And I think in the world we're living in right now, there's still a chance that Martin Sheen could become an actual president.
That is true. That is true. I do. Yeah, it's been interesting, like debating this because I was just like, how are they gonna, how can you fight Jed Bartlett? Like, but you came up twice. You came up very twice because I think I got a leg up with just having Jed Bartlett pretty much throughout the like. If I if I had to fight like if I had to, Rosalind was pretty good. I would have done all right with her, but
Yeah, do you know what?
Poland.
On paper, she is the only one that saved the entirety of humanity. Um, well, actually, technically, no. I suppose technically, no.
Well, no, because this is the thing is because Pullman didn't, and neither did he. Was just the president during the time in which the humans had survived,
Yeah,
and Morgan Freeman had it was also.
she's the only one that got whacked out on crazy juice, listened to some scriptures, and physically led through action the entirety of humanity. By the way, if you haven't seen Battlestar Galactica, just ruined it a little bit for you there, tiny bit at the end. Retrospective spoiler warning. I think we
did a lot of spoiler warnings anyway, so
yeah. I think we are done, Paul. Are you happy?
yeah, it's been fun. It's been real good. We'll have
Well,
to do more of these debate ones.
well then, I would like to thank all of the voters out there. You all matter so much to us. Let's do this again in 4 years. Actually, let's never do this again. That's all the presidents that we need right now. Everybody enjoy real life. Like, subscribe, share. We've been Heroes Out. I have been Patrick.
And I've been Paul.
And that was your Entertainment Election 2020. See you all soon.
Thanks very much. Bye. I'm just trying to be entertained while you're going off. I don't know if you can still hear me. Can you? Have I been gone?